Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Micah and today I have my March Shop My Stash for you. In the month of February, I stuck to using a couple of products that I selected in my previous Shop My Stash, and today it's time to change over what I will be using for this month. We're definitely heading towards spring. We've had some really nice days so far, so I definitely know that I want to change up like my base products and doing all that. In this video, I will also be showing you which eyeshadow palettes I reached for in the month of February. I don't really feel comfortable picking my eyeshadow palettes in advance, so I like doing that as the month goes along, and then I'll update you in this video, letting you know what eyeshadow palette I reach for as well as what lipsticks I reach for. So I will be cutting this video into a couple of different parts. The first part of the video will be my February recap. So we'll show you all the products that I was using last month and give you my thoughts. Then I'll show you the eyeshadow palettes that I was using. Then I'll show you the lipsticks that I was using. And then at the end of the video, I will show you what I have selected to be using in the month of March. I will be putting timestamps for each one of those sections in the description box down below, so that if you don't want to watch a certain part of the video, you don't have to sit through the entire video if you don't want to. So yeah, let's just get to what I shop my stash for the month of March. Here is the drawer. I've got two very dirty makeup sponges here. I know that's going to annoy people, so I will put those aside. And then while we're at it, what's going to change the most, of course, is going to be this bit, because I change up everything else quite regularly. I pulled in the It Cosmetics CC cream. I was really liking this all month, but I do want to move on to something else right now. I love this product in the winter time because it has those skincare properties. As you can see, mine is flattening out quite a bit, like the coverage this gives. I love that sort of citrusy smell that it has. So I will definitely be going back to it at some point again, but I just want to try something else again this month. For concealer, I went in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and I just posted my review the other day, and there I said that this was a bit too drying and too matte for me. So maybe in the summertime I can go back to this and see how it works then, because this is a lovely concealer. I feel it works really well the first couple of hours, but after a while, it starts to look a little cakey on me. So this is something that I'm going to be replacing. What I'm currently using, because I already felt that way about like halfway, 2 to 3 weeks into the month. So I started using this Catrice One Drop Coverage Concealer. And this is new to their line. I first tried this in my Catrice video at the beginning of February. And I just wanted to give this a little bit more of a rotation before I reviewed it. So I think I used this for about 2 weeks or so, and I love it so much more than this ColourPop one. It's a lot more hydrating. It stays looking better throughout the day, and I noticed that my makeup just looked a lot better using this product than this product. So that was a big difference. So since I enjoyed this one a lot, I am going to keep on using it in March, I think. So I think I'm going to keep it in here. I was using the primer that I'm using by NYX. That's still not gone. I just want to first use this up before I move in anything else. Another thing that I'm going to use up before I use anything else is my Fixing Spray by Revolution. I really like this. Sets my makeup in place. It's a very nice fine mist, and I love the scent of the green tea. For powder, I pulled in the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffuse Light, and I am loving this. I think it's a lot better than the NYX powder actually I was using before. It does only need a little bit in order for it to work. That was a mistake I made the first couple of times that I was using this, that I used much too much product. But right now I found how much product I need to use, and as you can see, that little dome is already flattening out, so loving that. We have our color products. I pulled in the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion for my bronzer. As you can see, I did a lot more damage on this again. It's a very nice bronzer. I will definitely go back to it again next winter. I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite wintertime bronzers, and I know we'll pull it back in when I'm at my fairest. Another product that I like to use when I'm at my fairest is this NARS blush in Sex Appeal. This is a very pale peachy shade. I really liked it. It looks very nice and fresh on the cheeks, but come springtime, I do want to try some other things again. I wanted to use this H&M blush in Vintage Red. It's a very nice shade. I just feel that this time of year isn't my favorite time of year to be wearing red blush. It's definitely more of a summertime thing. So I definitely want to go back to this when I have a bit more of a tan, because I think it may look a little bit better on me. I enjoy the powder and it looked really nice the times that I did wear it. I just didn't feel it went with a lot of my makeup looks right now. So good powder, lovely product, but again, I'm looking to try something else. For a neutral blush, I pulled in the Too Faced Baby Love blush. I love this product. It's very, very nice. And I definitely will be going back to it again in the future, but I have a lot of neutral tone blushes, as you will see in a minute. And there's a couple of other things that, again, I would like to pull in. For highlight, I went with a subtle Kiko one. This is the Shade Fusion highlighter. This is one of my favorite subtle highlights. Again, use it a lot this month. It's just so easy to just throw on and use. So love that. For an intense highlight, I went with the Pixi by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo in Subtle Sunrise. That's what this looks like. I definitely went into this shade a little bit more. I think this will be better for me in the summertime. So again, I want to try this a bit more before I review it, because I feel I've only really dug into the other shade and not so much this one. Next category then. So now that we've talked about what I was using last month in general on my face, something I didn't show you yet were the eyeshadows that I was using. And these are the eyeshadow palettes I reached for. There's far fewer here than last month. This month I just really wanted to stick to one palette for like a week. There are some new things I wanted to try out, but I also wanted to go back to some of my favorites and use them. I love doing that. And then just do like 4 or 5 different looks with a certain eyeshadow palette throughout the week as I'm going to work. I like reaching for things that I know work for me, that I don't have to figure out how to use. So that's why there's a couple of palettes here that I was using. The first one I reached for this month was the Chocolate Bonbons by Too Faced. In January, I was going in with the Naked 2. But at this time, I really wanted to play around with this again. This is one of my favorite Too Faced palettes, if not my favorite. It's very nice and cool toned, but it does have some pops of color that you can pull in. But this is such an easy go-to palette for me. And yeah, this is one that I very much enjoyed using. Let's just talk about Naked 2 then. The reason why this is in here is because I used it in my throwback tutorial where I did 3 looks with one palette, and that was this palette. So I definitely have been wearing this, but mainly on my days off. So again, this is one of my most used palettes. I'm not sure if you can see, but I've got some dips in quite a few of these shades here in the middle, as well as Chopper. This is just a palette that I just like to reach for. If I don't know what to do, and I do a look with this, I know it will come out looking great. I also wanted to try out some new stuff. I did wear this to work mostly, so I haven't been able to take any pictures of it yet, of the looks that I did with it, but this is the Milani Soft and Sultry. Yeah, Soft and Sultry palette. And this is one that a lot of people are currently loving for a cool tone palette. And I have to say, I don't feel it is super cool toned. I feel it's quite warm once it's on my eyes, but still it's a very lovely palette. I pretty much stuck to the 4 different columns that we have going on here. And then I did like 1 or 2 looks where I mixed it around a little bit more. But that's what I like about this palette. It's just so foolproof. You just have a look in each column going down. And yeah, this is just a great little palette, but I do have to use it a bit more before I can review it. Urban Decay Back Talk then. So I know everybody hated this when it came out because the quality wasn't there or anything like that. But I really enjoy this palette. This is just my kind of warm tones. I've said it before. I really like Back Talk as a transition. Or WTF right here. Attitude and Shade are some lovely shades to throw all over the lid. The highlighters and the blushes that are in here, I just like using them as other transitions and highlight shades. For eye looks, I've never used any of these on my face, but I feel they work really, really well. Double Take is a really nice sort of like in-between transition for this. And I really like this as an inner corner highlight. So that's how I use this palette, and I feel it just works really well for my makeup tastes. And then last but not least, I pulled in the Magic palette by Juvia's Place. This is one of my favorite Juvia's Place palettes, I have to say. I really like how you get warm tones at the top and then the cool tones at the bottom. these two purples together is it's so pretty. And I definitely wore a couple of the looks. I definitely wore this palette to work, and I mainly focused on wearing color. I do like that you get two neutrals to sort of blend things out a little bit more. And this like peachy pink up here, Ocean, is so pretty all over the lid. So if I wanted to go for something a little bit more easy, then I pulled in that one. But I mainly focused on the blues and purples in this palette when I used it. So love this palette. I definitely need to get a review of this up ASAP. Alright, so of course I also reached for some lipsticks this past month. These are the ones that I remember to write down. I think I actually wore a few more, but I've forgotten which ones they were. In my last Shop My Stash, I really realized that I hadn't worn a lot of reds that month, so this was a very red lipstick kind of month. So I wore 4 or 5 different ones that I could remember. Some liquid lipsticks here, the Ofra and the... I've got some liquid lipsticks here. This is the Ofra liquid lipstick in Atlantic City, and this is Meet Matte Hues by The Balm in the shade Devoted. This is a classic red, and this is more like a strawberry one. I do have to say I like the formula of the Ofra one a little bit better, but these were really nice. So I definitely will be wearing those a little bit more. One of my favorite reds and oldest reds in my collection is this lipstick by Makeup Designery. This is in the shade Ladybug, and this is the shade that I wore a lot the first week that I was thinking like, oh yeah, I need to wear more reds again. I also wore Bites KN. This is such a lovely orange toned red. It's just that with these Bite lipsticks, they are so slippery that they kind of slide around, so I kind of forget to wear the darker tones and brighter tones that I have in this lipsticks formula. I love the formula though, but this shade just kind of slides around. It's a lovely shade too, but that's why I don't reach for it enough, which is why I wanted to make a point of wearing it. Talking about creamy lipsticks, I definitely had a bit of a moment with these two last month. I'm not really someone who loves shiny lipstick, but for some reason, these two I went for. The Revlon HD lipstick in HD Dawn is one of my favorites. It's like a My Lips but better kind of shade. This is so pretty, and I really like this. It feels very comfortable, very balmy, and I definitely had some dry lips this past month, so this came in very handy. As did the Catrice Power Plumping Gel Lipstick. This is the red, and I love this thing. It stains the lips a little bit when it wears down, so even if it disappears, it doesn't disappear completely. Great one. For nudes, I went with Bites Pepper. If I don't know what nude lipstick to wear, I pull in this one. I've only had it for a few months, and look at how much wear this lipstick has had. I love this thing, so that one will probably make another appearance sometime soon. And I also really went back to MAC's Brave. Now that we're more going towards the springtime, I like more of a pinky toned nude, so that's why I pulled in that. And I also pulled in some dark shades because we're still in the winter time. This is MAC's Dark Side, and this is an amplified. If you like this shade but you want more of a matte formula, then MAC's Diva is exactly the same shade, but they are a bit more of a different formula. And since I already have Sin, and I felt Diva was too much like Sin, I decided to go for a different finish. And this is Catrice's Legend Berry. I definitely had a moment with this too. Again, a creamy lipstick, which I'm usually not a fan of, but this is such a stunning shade, so I really like that. So now that we've cleared out the drawer and we've talked about all of the things that I reached for in February, we're going to talk about the things I'm going to put in this drawer for March. There's a lot of things here that are staying. My mascara combo is still doing fine. I do think that somewhere in the next couple of weeks I may have to change out these two mascaras because they're getting to that 3-month point, because that's when I get rid of my mascaras. But so far they smell okay, the texture hasn't changed, so I know I can still use these. My brow product hasn't run out yet. I think I still have quite a bit of product in here actually. So that will last me another 2 or 3 months easily, I think. So that's still going strong. I've changed out my Milani eyeshadow primer for the Catrice one. Now I just want to use this up first before I start using anything else. My MAC Paint Pot and my little eyeshadow by The Body Shop here. My lip balms are still going strong. I just have my eyeliners here that if I want to pull in a liner, I've got it ready to go right here. There's a couple of products that I was using last month that I'm going to be putting back in. The primer is going to stay because I want to use that up. And I think, judging by how light it feels, it may actually run out quite soon. So if that happens this month, I would definitely pull in something else, but I haven't decided yet what. The One Drop Coverage Concealer by Catrice I want to put back in here because I'm really enjoying that. The Fixing Spray by Revolution I want to use up before I move on to anything else. And my Hourglass powder in Diffused Light. Am I right? Yes, Diffused Light. I always forget the name of this thing. It's just absolutely lovely. The dome is wearing off. I'm loving it. I'm going to just use that up before I reach for anything else. What are we pulling in next? So for base, to finish that off, I want to start using the Ordinary Serum Foundation. I bought this nearly a year ago, and I think I've only used it once to put on my face for the pictures I want to use for the review. So I definitely need to now start testing it out to see if it works. Of course, if I feel this doesn't work very well for me, then I will be pulling in something else. But I have no idea how this will work on my skin. So that is why I am putting it in here. If it works well, I'll probably use it all month. If it doesn't work very well, I will definitely be moving on to something else. But you'll see that in my next update. When I'm done with the Catrice concealer, if I feel I've used it enough, I want to pull in the L'Oreal Match Perfection. This is a very nice peachy undertone shade, and I just really think it will look very nice and fresh. And this is a lighter weight coverage foundation as well, so I think that a concealer like this can really sort of give me a nice brightening look. So that's why we're moving in that product. And then for the color products for my face, I want to use another bronzer again. This is the Solar Powder Bronzer by Soap & Glory, which, as you can see, has been worn down quite a bit. I love this bronzer. I actually like it in the springtime the most, which is why I thought I could pull it in, because March, we're almost moving into spring, so I just want to use this again, go back to it. And then for highlight, I have another intense and more subtle option here. Both of them are high-end, which I try not to do. But yeah, this is a Dandelion Twinkle for like more of like a peachy pink vibe and something subtle, like I said. And this is Vanilla Quartz by Becca. And this was just one I haven't used enough. I definitely still need to review this too. And this is like a golden toned highlighter with like a pinky peachy shift for something a bit more blinding. I love a good Becca highlighter. And I just need to use this more, and I think it will be nice for the springtime. And then we've got some blushes here. So because I have some more high-end highlighters here, I wanted to make a point of using some more drugstore blushes. The Butter Blush by Physicians Formula in Vintage Rouge. This is like a nice peachy shade, it seems, so I'm definitely intrigued to try that more. I haven't put it on my face enough yet to review it, so we'll be doing that. And then the Kiko Shade Fusion Blush in Marsala. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes, and a nice like mauve-y toned blush. And I'm really digging neutral blushes at the moment, so that's why all of my selection is quite neutral, because the high-end version that I have here is Mood Exposure by Hourglass. And I just want to go back to this. I feel I haven't used this in a long time, and I saw it sitting in my collection. I was like, oh, I just need to use you again. And this is going to be such an easy blush to wear. Now that we're getting into spring, I like wearing brighter colors on my eyes and on my lips. So then I think it's a good thing to keep the cheeks quite neutral so that I can play around with everything else that I have in my stash as well. So that's what we will be doing. This is what I'm going to be working with in the month of March. So those are all of the products that I shop my stash for and that I will be using this month. Let me know in a comment down below which of these products you have, that you've tried, that you love, that maybe you don't love. I'm very curious to know. And if you could thumbs up this video, that would mean the world to me, because it helps getting my videos out there. And if you could subscribe to my channel, then by all means, please do so. I make new content 3 times a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I have new videos going live for you. So I would very much appreciate it if you could do that, and stay tuned. Whenever I post new videos, that would be cool. If not, also cool, it's your party. And yeah, without further ado, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!